What's going on, guys? Patrick with Uncle Bill's Camping, back with another video. And today what we are talking about is this right here. This is the Rb-19 FRS two-way radio by Retevis. Now, if this is something you're interested in and you want to learn more about it, stick around and I'll fill you in on the details. So a few weeks back, Retevis reached out to me, asked me if I'd be interested in doing a review on a new set of their two-way radios, the Rb-19. I said, sure, send a pair over and, we'll do a brief overview and do a range test on them. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, I'm not going to do an unboxing video because there's not a whole lot to unbox. You get a wall plug, USB-C cable, and a user manual. That's it. So no need for an unboxing video. So before we go out and do the range test, let's just go over some of the features again. This is mostly going to be for the visual aspect, just so you can lay eyes on the radio. And I'm going to go over some of the features again. It may be a little bit repetitive. I do apologize for that, but I feel it is necessary to go over the features. So for starters, if you wish to check your battery level, you just tap the power button right here at the top and it'll let you know what your battery level is. And if you're wanting to change the channel, just hit the menu button there in the center and you can scroll left or right to scroll through your channels. Now, if you're wanting to check the volume, all you have to do, or if you want to change the volume, is to back out of that real quick. And you can turn the volume up or down. Now, if you're wanting to activate Vox, tap the menu button twice and use your left and right buttons to turn it on or off. Now, I will say this about Vox. When it is on, you do have to have your mouth pretty close to the microphone right here. If you do not, it's not going to pick up. You're going to have to speak clear and fairly loud, and for the most part it's going to pick up mid-sentence. So Vox is kind of a cool feature, but for me, I would just keep push to talk. Now let's go over some of the different features. If you hold the right arrow button down, what it will do is release the squelch on here and let you scan the channel directly. I am not going to do that because it's very loud and I've done it to you one time already, so I apologize for that. If you wish to scan the channels, you hold the left button down or left key and it will start scanning all 22 channels. If you want to turn that off, just hold the left key down and you're done. Now, if you want to lock the channel, say for a kid or somebody that's not very radio savvy, just hold the menu button down in the center and you're locked. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the buttons over here or the stuff on the side, and you can see it's got a standard headphone jack here. So that nice little earbud and microphone you got with your phone, you could probably use that on this and have no problems. The other thing that's kind of neat is a USB-C port instead of your standard micro USB, because now everybody has USB-C, so pretty cool. Of course, you have your push talk button right here on the side, and on the back you have all your relevant information, model number, output, which is 2 watts, and your FCC ID, belt clip, and it looks like there's a little spot there for a lanyard. Not included, of course, and the belt clip does not come off on this, and you cannot open this up to replace the battery, just so you know. Now, you can put this in a cradle, but that is not included. I think if you buy a 6-pack of these, they will throw the cradle charger in, but if you're just buying them individually or in a pair, you're going to have to get one on your own and spend a little bit of extra money. And speaking of money, these go from anywhere from $20 to $35 a set, so they're not very expensive, So anyway, we've taken a look at it, pretty much seen all there is to see. Now let's go do that range test. All right, guys, I made it to my first location. Now, these radios are kind of small, so I'm not expecting a really big range. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I've started pretty close. I think I'm only about a quarter to an eighth of a mile away from the house. I'll mark these locations on a map so you can kind of get a better visual representation of the obstacles, how many trees, the density of the houses, things like that. But I'm gonna go ahead with the first radio test. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy?
Copy that, mobile.
All right, so far so good, so let's move on to the next location. All right, so we've moved on to our second location. I would say we're probably about a quarter of a mile for sure away from home, so we'll go ahead and radio in, see if anybody can hear us and see if anybody can talk back. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy?
Copy that, mobile.
A little staticky, but still loud and clear, so we're just gonna keep on moving to our next location and I'll check back in with you then. Okay, so we've pushed out to the third location. We're at roughly a half a mile. I'm gonna go ahead, call in, do a radio check, see if anybody can hear us. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy?
Copy that, mobile.
All right, it's getting more staticky, but still clear enough that I can understand them. So we're just gonna keep pushing on out to our next location and I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so we have made it to our fourth location. We're about 3/4 of a mile away, roughly. So gonna call in and see if anybody can hear me. And fingers crossed, hopefully it works. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy?
Copy that, mobile.
Very staticky, but I can still understand him. So we're just gonna keep move to our next location. I will see you guys then. All right, guys, so we've made it out to our fifth location, probably about a mile out. We're gonna give a call in, see if anybody can hear us. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy?
Copy that, mobile.
All right, really staticky, but we've made it to the mile mark. So we're just gonna keep pressing on until we have nothing. So let's keep moving. All right, guys, so we've made it to our sixth location, I believe. We're right around 1 1/4 miles. We're gonna go ahead, call in, and see if anybody can hear us. Mobile to home base, do you have a copy? Mobile to home base, do you have a copy? All right, it looks like we have ran out of range. Now, we did get to a mile, so that is pretty good. It's more than I expected out of these. So, that pretty much wraps up this part of the video. Now, I guess we'll go ahead, have a seat, talk about this, and then wrap everything up. All right, guys, so let's talk about this radio for a second. And first, let's talk about the pros. First off, very slim design. It's going to fit in your pocket really easy. Shirt pocket, back pocket. It's not going to stick out and make a bulge or be real tight in your pants or anything like that where it's going to be uncomfortable. Has a very easy to read display. It's very intuitive. You would not need a manual to figure this out whatsoever. A modern headphone microphone jack, so you can use just about anything that came with a phone recently. USB-C charging and interface port, so you can use cables you got laying around to charge it with. I don't think you could use a standard USB-C to program it with Chirp. If you can do that, that's still left a little undecided. And also it is FRS, so no license needed. You stay totally legal and everything's good to go from there. As far as cons go, and I don't know if you could call it a con, it's not very rugged. There's no soft rubber on this or on the edges. If you drop it from 4 or 5 feet on something hard, it's probably going to break. It's not waterproof, and it's definitely not what you would be looking for in an SHTF situation. Now, having said that, I don't know if this was actually designed for that. I think they're trying to reach out and hit maybe a different market with this radio. Where could I see this being used? In schools, amongst teachers and staff, in hospitals, warehouses, things where you really don't need a super rugged radio. I could also see maybe giving this to your kids if you happen to live in an area where there's not good cell reception, or maybe, you know, they're just not allowed to have phones yet and you want to be able to check in on them. This would work. Or, you know, maybe just, you know, going out around the house, or, you know, going for walks when you live in an area that, you know, there's just no good cell signal. So it definitely has its purposes. I guess the real question would be, what do you need it for? You know, if you're wanting to go out in the woods or take it hiking, something like that, this probably isn't what you're looking for. But if you're going to be more of an urban area and indoors, or in an area where it's going to be handled pretty safely, you know, with a mile range, you know, you're definitely going to get your money's worth out of this radio. So I really can't say anything negative about this radio. The only thing I could really say about it is it's very purpose built. So, you know, make sure if you're going to get something like this, you're getting it for the right reasons. That way it doesn't let you down. But with all that being said, it's getting hot out here, so let's head back to the house and wrap this up. So that about wraps up this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd like to say thank you for being a trooper and sticking it out with me. I'd also like to say thank you to Retevis for reaching out and giving me these radios. And as nice as they are, I am probably not going to hang on to them. I'm amassing a pretty good collection of radios back here, and I won't have a need for these, so I'm going to pass them on to you, the viewers. I'm going to do a giveaway. If you check in the description down below, you'll find a link to that. You fill out a little bit of information, and in a few weeks, we'll get back to you, let you know if you won or not. Now, with all that being said, my name is Patrick with Uncle Bill's Camping. Thanks for stopping by to check out my video, and I will see you fine people the next time around.